Ladies and gentlemen, bros and hoes, I'd like to present to you the worst fucking piece of shit tank I've ever fucking seen. The fucking worst one in the world. Now, that's a little bit of exaggeration because fortunately for it, it competes against modern cars, right? Fuel tanks for modern cars, and those fucking things, fucking all sorts of fucking weird shapes, are worse than these ones, right? So, but anyways, as you can see here, I removed the pipe. That's actually the pipe. Pardon me. Fuck. Shit, I mean. Fuck is a good thing. Shit is a bad thing. I don't know why. I don't understand why people say fuck. That's a good thing. Anyways, I removed the pipe, the fuel pipe that goes into the tank, and it's actually together. It's integrated with the sending unit here. There's the variable resistor right there attached to this float there, and as you can see, you know, there's a nice little filter at the end. But this goes in there like that, right? First off, as you can see, it's a piece of shit way to get it in. Very fucking difficult, a little fucking difficult, right? But the worst thing is, it's right on the side of the tank. It's right on the fucking side. I mean, fuck sakes, shit sakes. I really have to explain it. And the only thing that keeps fuel from coming out is this little fucking rubber gasket here. But the customer was, you know, in a hurry, and I told him, I predicted the future. You see, I can predict the future. I told him there's a little rubber gasket there, and it's fucking old, and it's fucking shit, and in the fucking wrong place. And then, of course, I obviously didn't tell him like that. But anyway, that's what I was trying to say to him, and it's gonna leak. Well, there it is. Now it's a lot more difficult because I had to remove the fuel tank, remove the fucking gas there. But who would be dumb enough to put anything on the side of the tank? Now I've installed one up here, and that's the proper place. Because I mean, even if you have a leak or whatever here, it's not gonna, even if there's a break on the rubber or a missing bolt or a big fucking hole here, it's not gonna leak upwards, right? But here, no, and as you can see there, fucking little rubber broke off. Now the fucking gas was leaking, right? And another thing, the fucking way that there's this little fucking thing here that would hold it in place, sort of go like that, and this is the fucking worst piece of shit I've ever seen. No, what's wrong with the thread? What's wrong with fucking thread? No, this is fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. You know, it wears out, and there's not enough pressure, damages the gasket, right? It's just fucking ridiculous. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have to open a hole here, and I'm gonna reroute the fuel line through here. I would like to keep that little fuel filter though at the end here. There's another, I know there's another fuel filter, but there's a fuel filter on the fuel pump, but it's nice to have two filters. I don't know, maybe I'll just weld this, maybe I'll just weld the old one there. Just weld it in place, that's the proper way. Or open a hole here. Well, I'll do either one, but I just like to show you that. You see, unfortunately, although modern cars are millions of times better than modern cars, you know, you can't even call them cars. They're so full of shit, man. You know, everything's got smaller and simpler. Computers, 50 years ago, they used to be, a small computer used to be, a calculator used to be the size of like a house. And now you have phones, you know, so tiny. But with cars, it should be the same thing, right? It should have gotten simpler and smaller. Well, open up the hood of your car and just see how many fucking sensors and fucking wires and shit are in there. And with the classic cars, it's only, you know, a few components, especially if you went to the cheaper, lower end cars, not the fast ones like Cadillacs and all that shit. Man, just a few components. You could actually hide inside of them. My father said he used to play hide and seek inside. When playing hide and seek, he used to hide inside his grandfather's car, right? So, well, that just goes to show you that, fortunately, still nothing. I've yet to come across a perfect car that's, you know, close to my standards. That's why, hopefully, one day I'll have the ability to design and fabricate my own car, and will be called the Invincible, right? But anyways, I also did put some stainless steel bolts here on my Rambler. I'll just show you here in case you're interested. Right there, see, stainless steel, guys. Aren't I a perfectionist, eh? See? Anyways. Alright, goodbye. Oh. Damn, I was gonna sneeze there. Sorry. Alright, goodbye, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps. So yeah, just if you come across something like this, I strongly advise you to move it up here and just get rid of this thing as soon as possible. Even if it's not leaking, if it's not leaking now, it's gonna leak eventually, right? Because as you can see, once again, it's just a fucking little piece of shitty rubber. But if it's up here, you can put a nice wide piece of rubber. It's not going to be in contact. And another thing, it's not going to be directly in contact with the gasoline unless you really fill up the tank like to above where the tank is, and its gas is actually sitting in the pipe here. But otherwise, if it's not full, the fuel tank is not full, the only thing that's going to come here is gas vapor. And that's a lot less, you know, harmful. But here it's always directly in contact with liquid. And once again, if it leaks, it's able to leak here because it's right in the fucking side, look, right? It could be right in the bottom for fuck's sakes. Crying out loud, eh? But here, even if you take this off and the tank is full, it's not gonna leak. Obviously it's gonna splash around, but you know, it's not gonna leak. Whereas here, it's just, you know, fucking water fountain, gas fountain, right? So yeah, if you see this, strongly advise you to fix it, change it as soon as possible. All right, bye for now.